Welcome back to 242 Math. I am your host Raphael Thompson, and today we will be looking at BJC Paper 1 for the year 2014. So students, get ready, get your pencils and pens and paper ready. I will give you the questions at the beginning. You work, and then we will mark and see what your score is. This test is out of 50 and it's for 1 hour when you sit the examination. So students, get ready. Here we go with paper 1. Questions. Number 1. You're adding three numbers, 6,054, 2,137, and 856. Add those three numbers and put your answer on the line that is provided. Okay, get started. Let's see if you can get this done. 1 mark for this question, and you all should be able to get this question correct. Work it, see what you get. On paper 1, this is how the examination usually begins. You would have to add, and that was 1A. Now we're on 1B. Now instead of adding, you have to subtract. So you're subtracting 2,918 from 4,937. Go ahead, do subtraction. And again, this question only carries 1 mark. So do it quickly and see what your answer is for this subtraction. Remember, you need to show all of your working. That's important. Okay, so let me see what you were doing. If you need space, do it on the side of the question. But show me exactly what you're doing to get the answer. That's important. Good. And C. We already added, we already subtracted, so now we are multiplying. 5,108 times 7. And again, you only have 1 mark for this question. So go ahead, do it quickly. Remember, you must show all working. So as you work, let me see what you're doing. If you have to regroup, I need to see the numbers. Don't do it on a rough piece of paper and throw it away. I need to see it right here on the paper. So if you make a mistake, you can get your marks. And always check your answer right away before you move on. Do a quick estimate. Okay, you should have been completed with that. We move on to 1D. Here now you're dividing. So all of the papers for math paper 1 begin like this. You have to add, subtract, you have to multiply, then you have to divide. And this one is fairly simple. You're dividing by a 1-digit number. So it's 6,084 divided by 4. Go ahead, do it quickly. Remember, I need to see all working. If you're doing it long division, I need to see the working. If you're doing it short division, I need to see all of the working. You can do this one short division. But it's important to show all workings right there on the paper. They will have a section that's marked off as rough work. You can do it there or do it right beside the question you're working. Now we're on to number 2. And here you have January 2014, and you have the calendar: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And it says write down as a fraction 3 days out of the total number of days in January. And again, 1 mark. Simple question. You're just writing a fraction. So let's see if you can get that done quickly. Write down as a fraction 3 days out of the total number of days in January. 1 mark. So once you see 1 mark, you know it's something simple. Do it. Put an answer. Good. Number 3. Round 62.978 to the nearest whole number. Round 62.978 to the nearest whole number. Again, the answer carries 1 mark, so it's something very simple that you're doing. So go ahead, do the rounding. Remember, we want it to the nearest whole number. So let's see if you can get that done and get the answer for that. And again, rounding will come up on each paper in some form or another. Okay, we move on. Number 4. I am facing west. I turn through an angle of 90 degrees in a clockwise direction. In which direction am I now facing? Again, the answer carries 1 mark, so it's something fairly simple that you're doing. If you're unsure, I would advise you to face west, stand up face west, and then turn through an angle of 90 degrees and see where you are facing after you've done that turn. And that would be your answer. But you have the compass right there to help you, so use it. Turn through 90 degrees and see where you end up. So write the direction you will be facing after you do a 90 degrees clockwise turn if you're facing west. Got it? Good. We move on to number 5. Write down the next 2 terms in the sequence, and the sequence is 16, 14, 12, 10. And you have to put the next 2 numbers. 16, 14, 12, 10. Write the next 2 numbers. And this carries 2 marks because you have to write 2 terms. You have to write 2 numbers. And it's fairly simple, so you should get this correct. Work it quickly. Put an answer there. You're finding the next 2 terms. So find what you're doing in the sequence and apply it and get your 2 answers. Good. Okay, number 6. The clock shows 6:30 p.m. What time was it 4 hours and 30 minutes before 6:30 p.m.? Read it again. The time shows 6:30 p.m. What time was it 4 hours and 30 minutes before 6:30 p.m.? And you have the clock face there that you can use to actually help you to find the correct time. Your answer for this carries 2 marks. It's important you get these 2 marks. This is a fairly simple question. Use the clock face to help you to get to the answer. Okay, number 7a. What fraction of the diagram is not shaded? What fraction of the diagram is not shaded? Again, 1 mark, so it's something fairly simple. You're writing a fraction. And B, express the shaded part as a decimal. And that is 1 mark also. Okay, so don't get confused. Go back to A. What fraction of the diagram is not in bold, not shaded? And B is asking, express the shaded part as a decimal. So don't let it confuse you. Okay, let's move on to number 8. In prime factor form, 8 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2. 12 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3. What is the LCM, lowest common multiple, of 8 and 12? 1 mark for the answer, so it's something simple you have to do to find the LCM. They've already given you the factors. You have the prime factors, so use the factors to find the LCM of 8 and 12, the lowest common multiple. You should know what that means. And when you find your answer, check to make sure it is correct. It is the lowest common multiple. That's as much as I can help you with. You need to know what multiple means. Good, you got it? Number 9. How much greater than 3.93 is 7.24? Again, how much greater than 3.93 is 7.24? Okay, just a play on language. You need to know what operation you have to do to find the answer. So go ahead and do it quickly. Remember, I need to see all of your working. So do it on the side or right under it. I need to see the working. I need to see what you're doing to get your final answer. The working is important. Again, the working is important. So show all working on the paper. And we move on to number 10. Fill in the square and cube of the given number. The number is 3. You want that number squared and you want that number cubed. So write the answers in the box if you want. But there's a line there for the answer and you have 2 marks. So one is for the number squared and one is for the number cubed. So go ahead and do it quickly. What is that number squared? Put an answer. You should know what squared means. And what is that number cubed? So you're dealing with the same number, the number 3. Square it, then cube it. Got it? Excellent. Okay, we move on to number 11. Arrange these fractions in order from the least to the greatest. 1/2, 1/2, 5/6, 2/3, 1/12. 1/2, 5/6, 2/3, 1/12. Arrange these fractions in order from the least to the greatest. So you need to know what to put first and then what should come last and in between. From the least to the greatest. 4 marks, so for each one you get a mark, and that's a lot of marks. So don't lose these 4 marks. It's a fairly simple question to do. Got it? Number 12. A circle has a diameter of 14 centimeters. Calculate the area of the circle. Use pi is equal to 22/7. And the circle is drawn and it shows a diameter of 14 centimeters. And put your answer, and the answer is already square centimeters, so you just have to put the number. And this is worth 3 big marks. So you got to get this. You have to remember the formula for the area of a circle, guys. Once you know that, just put your numbers in and work it out. Pi is 22/7. Show all of your working. That's important. Good. Number 13, A. Express 1/5 as a percentage. 2 big marks. Express 1/5 as a percentage. So once you change it to decimal, then you write it as a percentage. And B. Calculate 15% of $200. 2 big marks there as well. Calculate 15% of $200. So work the first one. 1/5 as a percentage, and then 15% of $200. Got it? Great. And we move on to number 14. Use the symbols that you are given to make each statement true. I'm not going to read them for you. You should know what they mean. A is 5 centimeters and then 5 millimeters compared to 5 millimeters. B, 500 kilograms compared to 500 grams. And C, 6 liters compared to 6,000 milliliters. Okay, use those symbols. Place them in the box. 3 big marks. 1 mark for each one. Go ahead, do it quickly. Good. And we move on to number 15. Match the words in column 1 with the phrases in column 2 by putting the correct letter in the space provided. And under 1, you have A, circumference, B, coefficient, C, hexagon, D, reflex, E, quotient. Under 2, you have plane figure with 6 sides, total distance around a circle, angle greater than 180 degrees but less than 360, number before a variable, and the result of division. Remember, you're putting the letter on the line to the back. So match them up by placing the letter, the correct letter, under 2 to match it with the phrase at the back under 2. Do that quickly. Got it? Okay, 16. Simplify A. 3x plus 4y plus 5x minus 3y. 2 big marks for that, so you got to get that correct. You're just simplifying it, guys. And B. C is equal to 88 over B plus 1. Calculate the value of C when B is equal to 10. 2 big marks again. Go ahead, work it quickly, see what you can get. Do number 1. Simplify that expression. 3x plus 4y plus 5x minus 3y. Got it? And then do number 2. Put B as 10 and then find the value of that of C. Equation. Okay, you should be finished. Then we move on to number 17. A. Calculate the size of angle Y. And you have an angle of 52 degrees. You have to find Y, and 2 marks for this, guys. So let's see. You're working. I want it right beside the diagram. Show me what you're going to do to find Y. Okay, I need to see the working. Put an answer in and it will be so much degrees. So do what you need to do to get the answer right there beside that the diagram. Put the answer on the line and we will move on to B. Calculate the size of angle W and angle X. Calculate the size of angle W and angle X, and here you have the answers worth W is worth 1 point, X is worth 2 marks. I don't know why, but that's how they have it. So go ahead, work it and get your 3 points here, guys. It's fairly simple. W and X, got it? Okay, we move on to number 18. James has X dollars. He lost $5. A, write an algebraic expression for the amount he has left, and that's 1 mark. James now has $2 left. B, write an algebraic equation to show all of this information, 1 mark. And C, solve the equation formed in B to find X. And once you find X, you get 1 mark if it's correct. So 3 big marks for 18. See if you can get them all. This is algebra. You will not miss this. This comes on every test. So you have to know how to deal with algebra. Good. And now we've completed that. We move on to the best part, answers. Here we go. Number 1. 9,047. Mark it if you got that correct. And I need to see where you regrouped. 1, 1, 1. I needed to see those to show me that you knew how to regroup in order to find the answer. That's 1 big mark so far. See if you can get all of the rest. And here we go to B. You have to subtract 2019. You got it? Mark it right. Put a big red mark on that if you got that correct. And you simply have to subtract. And here you have to rename. And I need to see what you do to rename. I need to see that 2 on that 1. And a line to the 3. Because you have to rename. Okay, let's move on to multiplication. Yes, the answer is 35,756. Got it? Another big mark for you. You're doing well. And again, you had to regroup. 7, 8, 56. So I need to see that 5 above that 0. 7 times 0 is 0, and then put the 5. 7 is 7, 7, 5, 35. There you have it. And then we move on to the last one, was D. 1D, you had to divide. And you could do it short or long. Your answer would be 1,521. Excellent if you got it. 4 into 6, 1. The remainder was 2. Put it with the 0. 4 into 25. 4 into 8, 2. 4 into 4, 1. 1, 5, 2, 1. A simple division that you had to do. I am sure you got those first 4 correct. And the number 2 with the calendar. Yes, the fraction that you needed. 3 days out of the total number of days in January. How many days are in January? 31. It's right there before your eyes. So it'll be 3 over 31. Final answer. Another one that you should have gotten, and I hope you got that correct. You just have to write a fraction. You don't need to reduce or anything else. Just write the fraction, guys. And number 3, round 62.978 to the nearest whole number. Now I have that 9 in green because that's what you need to look at. And since that's 5 or more, you have to add a 1 to the number in front of it, which is 2 plus 1 is 3, so you get 63. Excellent job if you got that correct. So to the nearest whole number, the answer was 63, not 62, because of that 9. Okay, move on to number 4. I am facing west. I turn into an angle of 90 degrees in a clockwise direction. Which direction am I facing? You are now facing north. Yes, if you were facing west and you do a 90-degree clockwise turn, you would be facing north. If you have N, that's correct. Or if you have north written out, N-O-R-T-H, that's correct as well. Any one of those would suffice. And we move on to number 5. Write down the next 2 terms in the sequence. And what were you doing? Subtracting 2. So 10 take away 2 is 8. 8 take away 2 is 6. Very good. You got 2 marks right there from it. Easy question. So give yourself those 2 big marks. That one was fairly simple and easy to do. You just had to subtract 2. That's what you were doing to each number. Subtracting 2. Okay, move on to number 6. The clock shows 6:30. What time was it? 4 hours and 30 minutes before 6:30. Yeah, you go back. You have to go back. What time was it before? And if you go back, you would end up by 2 p.m. And you have to put in p.m. because they said 6:30 p.m. So if you go back, it'd be 2 p.m. 2 big marks for that again. All you have to do is go backwards with the time, and you would get that. Mark it. Give yourself 2 marks for that. And 7a, what fraction diagram is not shaded? 7/10. 1 big mark. Mark it if you got that. You just have to look and see the cells that were not shaded. Then express shaded part is a decimal. So the shaded part will be 3/10, and that's 0.3. 2 big marks there. So you got that one correct as well. Very good. Notice fraction and then a decimal. Number 8, in prime factor form, what was the LCM? 24. Yeah, and once they give you the factors, what you do is you use all of the factors as many times as you have it. So for 2, you would use 2 times 2 times 2. Not 2 times 2, 2 times 2 times 2, and you use a 3. So that works out to be 24, and you can divide 8 into it and 12 into it. That's the lowest number you can divide 8 and 12 into. That's the LCM. And number 9, how much greater than 3.93 is 7.24? So you just subtract 7.24, take away 3.93, so it's 3.31 times greater. Very good. Once you realize you have to subtract, go ahead, do the subtraction, get your answer. 1 mark. Each mark counts. And again, I need to see the working in for it, where you did the renaming. Number 10, fill in the square and the cube of the given number. 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. 3 cubed, 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So the answers would be 9 and 27. 3 squared, remember the exponent shows you how many times you multiply the base. Shows you how many times you multiply the base. So don't get confused. Number 11, arrange these fractions in order from the least to the greatest and find the LCM. The LCM is 12. Once you find the LCM, change them all to a fraction in 12ths. So it'd be 6, 10, 8, and 1. You just divide the denominator into the LCM and multiply it by the number on top. So you get 1/12, a half, 2/3, 5, 6 in that order, from lowest to the highest. Got it? Good. Okay, 12. Circle has diameter 40 centimeters. Calculate the area of the circle. Pi is 22/7. The radius is 7. The diameter is 14. Half of that is the radius. And area is pi r squared. So it's 22/7 times 7 times 7. And it works out to be 22 times 7 when you cancel out 154 centimeters. Square centimeters. Centimeters squared. 3 big marks for that. Hope you got it, guys. And you had to have used 22/7. Number 13, express 1/5 as a percentage. You could divide 5 into 1. And 5 into 1 would go 0.20. Or you can say 1/5 times 100/1. And when you cancel, you get 20, so it's 20%. 15% of 200 is $30. And if 100 is 15, another 100 is 15, then 15 and 15 is 30. Or just say 15 times 2, you get to 30. 14, use the symbols, less than, greater than, equal to. You need to know what each one is. And you can remember, less than points to the left. So the first one is you point it to the smaller amount. So 5 millimeters smaller, so it goes greater than, and then B is greater than, and C would be equal to. Okay, always remember to point the one with the arrowhead to the lowest amount. Number 15, and you have to match up plane figure with 6 sides is C, hexagon, total distance around a circle, circumference is A, angle greater than 180 less than 360 is D, reflex, and number before variable is coefficient, and the result of division is quotient. So there you would do the matchup with the letters on the line at the back. 5 big marks for that. So I hope you got those correct. Number 16, simplify. Now I have circled the y's, underlined the x's. Add the x's, you get 8x, and then it's 4y minus 3y, and you get y. B is 10, so you get 88 divided by 11, 8. 11 can go into 88 8 times. That's it. 4 big marks right there, guys. Hope you got those. Number 17, calculate size of angle y, and you're dealing with a right angle triangle. How do you know that? Yeah, there's a box there. That box means it's 90 degrees. So it's 90 take away 52 leaves you with 38 degrees. 2 big marks there. Okay, but that's what you do. You have to realize that it's a 90-degree angle. So you take 52 away from it and you get your answer. That's A. Now we go to B. Calculate size of angle W and angle X. And here you have 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal. X is the corresponding angle for 110, and then it's opposite W. So X is 110 and W is 110. Okay, so that's simple to do, but 3 big marks for that. And once you know how to use parallel lines cut by a transversal and the angles that are equal, then you're straight for something like that. And number 18, James has X dollars, he lost $5, so that's X minus 5. For A, for B, he has $2 left, so the equation is X minus 5 is equal to 2, and when you solve it, you get X is equal to $7. So 3 big marks there. Once you know how to deal with the algebra, with the expression, and with the equation, you're set. So give yourself a score for that one out of 50. 50 big marks. Hope you got 50 out of 50, guys. Those questions were not that hard to do. And remember, that's paper 1, 50 marks. And the next one would be paper 2, which would be 100 marks. And that'll be coming up next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. That's a wrap.